What up, boys? How's it going? I thought today I would do a patch review, as I don't really have any ideas of what content to make at the moment, as the patch was kind of dry. However, I'm excited for the new patch. I'm hoping for an LD buff. I haven't really spoken to anyone yet about the patch. I tried to stay away last night when it released. I'm here the next morning, so I'd love to get into it. So we're starting off with Tormentor changes, I see. So they're changing the map. So the first one's now 20 minutes. Okay. The average team in pubs wasn't really taking it till like minute 25 anyway, unless the support was screaming. So I guess this is okay. It changes pro scene more. Slightly weaker. And it regens slightly less. Yeah, there was a few comps I played where you just couldn't take it with 4 heroes, even at minute 15. Roshan changes. Hero duration increased to 4 seconds. Okay, so I'm guessing this is when he slams with 3 units or more in the radius. The debuff is now 4 seconds, which is attack speed slow, I believe. So his raw, he's tankier for longer, 50% longer. He'll raw earlier, okay. Okay, so you can't silence him so he doesn't roar to hide it from the enemy anymore. He will always roar. Roar dispels, okay, that kind of matters for like meld. People were casting Bloodthorn to kill Roche faster. Roar now triggers a message, so it now tells people in chat that Roche is being taken, as if the audio cue wasn't enough. And he's going to be tankier and do more damage the longer game goes on. Okay. We're changing the map. The safe lane small camp in the Radiant has been moved to the north and trees added above it. Okay. So it's going to be harder. It's going to be easier to contest. Many trees have been moved and adjusted. Okay, so I'm assuming this is going to be similar to like when they changed the Dire hard camp. It was too hard to contest in one of the letter patches. They moved the trees to make it easier. I'm assuming it's going to be similar because it was really hard to contest. And blocking was also kind of a nightmare because once the Radiant support had a ward down, it was really hard to contest. You could just place it behind by the tower and it was really hard to eliminate as the enemy possible. The top tier 2 and the cliff to the right have been shifted to the west. Okay. I'm not sure if that's going to impact much, but that could be interesting. The Radiant Triangle ramp leading behind the top Radiant tier 2 has been shifted north. Okay, so it's going to be further away from the tower, and the tower is going to be more to the west, so it's going to be harder to, like, sit in the secret shop and as Dire and like ping spells off into the Radiant tier 2 or dive behind, because it was quite easy compared. I mean, I guess it was also easy for the Radiant to do it on the alpha lane. The ramps on the east side of the Radiant Triangle have been shifted to the north and east. The trees around them have been adjusted. Let's get into... So for those of you that don't know, if we then come into... If we go to world, terrain, item details, demo. I want to see these changes. Let's turn on free spells. Give me a blink.
That was my thought.
Prepare for battle.
Okay, so there's slightly more space here. And this has been moved slightly. Okay. This is further down. So yeah, it's exactly what I thought. It's going to be harder because before it was like right here. This secret shop was like right here. Or like here. Here. It was like around here. And you could just sit in this area with the trees and ping spells off into the tower. What else have we got? They said they moved this. Okay, so this is much more open. Wow. So this is down here and here now. What are the other changes? A ramp has been added leading from the Radiant Triangle to behind the middle Radiant Tier 2. Oh, okay. So there's another ramp here now. Before, this was just pure cliff, and you'd have to, if you were trapped here, you'd have to run this way or this way. Now you can just run down. There's a lot more space here now as well.
Your bottom tower is being invaded.
The mid-Radiant Tier 2 tower has been shifted away. One sec, I just realized you can't see my cursor. Where were we? It's been shifted away from the triangle and trees around it have been adjusted. Yeah, we've just seen that. A juke path has been added to the trees east of the Radiant Mid-Tier 2. East of the Radiant Mid-Tier 2. Here? Okay. The northern cliff edge, ramps, and hard/ancient camps of the Radiant Triangle have been moved slightly southwest.
I follow.
Your middle tower
This, I believe, like, it used to come out here. They're talking about this cliff here. The ramp directly south of the bottom Roche pit has been moved. Oh no, I skipped a bit. The cliff to the southwest near the ramp to the Radiant mid lane and the river has been slightly reduced.
Very well.
The Radiant... where? The cliff to the southwest near the ramp to Radiant mid lane. Oh, here. Okay. Here. The ramp directly south of the bottom Roshan pit has been moved north. This one? This one. I have no idea. I believe it says directly south, so it has to be this one, right? This one's been moved north. A path has been added closest to the dire bottom tier 1 tower from the lane to the lotus pool. Where?
Your middle tower is not doing well.
Closest to the dire bottom tier 1 tower from the lane to the lotus. Like here to here? Oh no, it's just this path here. It's yeah, it's literally this big wide path. Right. So it's easier to contest as dire. That's really nice. Several trees have been added and adjusted near the dire mid-tier 2 tower.
Something was
Okay, I'm sure that's going to be impactful. Several trees between the two neutral camps on the easternmost region of the dire side have been removed. Over here? Yeah, okay, this is more open. I see it. It just feels more open. The dire bounty rune has moved slightly to the east. This one? Okay. Sure. The ramp leading from the dire triangle area to the river and bottom Roshan pit has been moved slightly north and simplified and removed 2 small unpathable ledges. These ledges? There used to be 2 ledges here. Did they remove these? Okay. The dire triangle watcher has been moved slightly north. Okay, it's barely noticeable. The bottom lane lotus pool has been moved to the north and to the west. Many of the tree paths have been adjusted. We saw that already. The top lane lotus pool has been moved slightly to the north, and the trees there have been adjusted as well. So these have been adjusted, I'm assuming. Oh, these have as well. There's a straight line. Where were we? The top Roshan pit has been adjusted to be closer to the center of the Radiant Dire cliff sides. Okay, so it's more centered, right? Gotcha. The bottom Roshan pit has been moved. Okay, so they were tweaking that one too. They rotated this one. Okay, it's slightly noticeable. A dead spot has been fixed in the bottom Roshan pit. Okay. Flooded camps in main jungles near the bounty runes have had their pull timers reduced. Because it used to be like 54, 55 for these. So I'm assuming it's slightly less? Or... no, you have to pull them later. Sorry. Watchers now can't be activated before the start of the game. Interesting. So you're now no longer like running here on Dire and Radiant, as well as here, just to take the watchers. Watchers no longer display the green AoE ring, potential vision, when hovering sentry and observer wards. Okay. Watchers now only display their potential vision areas when holding alt. Yeah, just quality of life. General changes. We're changing lifesteal and spell lifesteal amp once again. Oh no, they've been removed. And we have a new umbrella stat. Health restoration. Okay, so instead of being able to choose between lifesteal amp and spell lifesteal amp, I mean, they were both just slapped onto like Sanj and Yasha, for example. Sanj and Kaya, sorry. Provides a percentage increase to health gained from lifesteal, spell lifesteal, and health regen. And of course, decreases when negative. Positive and negative sources of health restoration stack diminishingly. Okay. Health restoration cannot go lower than minus 100%. Okay, okay.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Sources of heal amplification now stack additively. Okay, with each other instead of diminishingly. That's good. So 10 plus 10 will be 20. Heal amp cannot go lower than 100%. Yeah. Effects that root and disarm are now considered bind effects, and will have the status effect bound. Okay. These are effects of root and disarm. Okay. There's not many of those in the game. Crystal Maiden's Frostbite is definitely one of them. Okay, we're on items. Blink Dagger no longer has an overshoot range. This is amazing. This means this is both good and bad depending how you see it in a gatekeeping kind of way. It removes the skill of knowing that if you blink within the range, you can go further than if you overblink. There will no longer be that skill diff. I have scrolled far too far, but that's with all the blinks, no other changes. We're removing the spell lifesteal amp because it's no longer a thing. And we're nerfing the mana regen amp. That's going to hurt like Medusa, Storm. Yashinkaya no longer has the amp. Yeah, no longer has the amp. Reducing the mana regen, which is because of the Kaya nerf. Which is once again hurting like Medusa. Sanj. Okay, if I understand this is still like a 4% nerf. Because they just slapped these two together into the one. So it is slightly weaker. Abyssal Blade is a 5% nerf if I understand this correctly. Another 5% nerf to Sanjin Yasha, so it's gonna hurt like pretty much every core that isn't intelligence based because they're all buying Sanjin Yasha. It's the only status item in the game. Kaya Sanj, 5% nerf, okay. Orb of Corrosion, Orb of Frost changes. Orb of Frost is more expensive. It's more in line with Orb of Blight now. Frost, instead of reducing healing... Okay, so yeah, they just bundled it all together. No nerf on that side. But easier to understand. The slow and health restoration reduction no longer stack. That's not good. Total cost increased from 1,000 to 1050. So why this isn't good is you'd sometimes have supports that would just have a casual Orb of Frost, and then the cores would upgrade to Scardy or Corrosion. And they would stack the effects. 16% no nerf, 50 increase because of the frost. So it's no longer a clean 1000, that's quite sad. Corrosion slow and health restoration reduction no longer stack with Orb of Frost. Yeah. So we no longer stack. Everything 40% no nerf, it's all just bundled in one. Oh, the recipes have been changed. Okay, so okay, so it's 2 ultimate orbs. So it's more expensive. No recipe. But yeah, more expensive by 600. But to compensate, you get 13 more stats. But because you get the stats, they remove the health and mana, which I guess is overall a buff because you get the armor and everything that comes with the stats, the HP. And Shiva's Guard, no nerf. Bloodstone, buff, 5 seconds. Not many heroes I've seen been buying this recently. Bristle, maybe a Beastmaster. Mana restoration increased by 5. Pudges and Bristles might be happy about this. Again, it's not really being bought over Glimmercape. I've just looked ahead and seen the Glimmercape has been nerfed, actually. But the barrier's been increased, so they're trying to stop the Huskars and the cores from buying this. It's now equal to Eternal Shroud, and with Eternal Shroud getting a buff, cores are probably more likely to buy this again. Helm Dom changes. Recipe change is now a crown and diadem. Okay. Recipe is more expensive, so the build-up is worse. No longer getting a Helm of Iron Will, so you don't get the armor and health regen in lane, so you can't just rush it. It's now just stat items. And the stats are unchanged. So you still get armor once you finish it. Stay hydrated, guys. Okay, Helm of the Overlord, slightly cheaper, 75 gold, that's okay. Holy Locket. Healing Amp. Okay, we're decreasing it by 10%. That's nerfing Tinker support. Who else is buying this? Abaddon? Not really seeing much Abaddon at the moment, though. Lincoln Sphere. Health regen. Okay, this is kind of negligible. Phylactery, cooldown. This is a buff. No one's really buying it. Recipe cost decreased 200, so it's slightly cheaper. I mean, no one's really buying it. Intelligence bonus decreased by 3. Critical mana cost increased by 50. Okay, so it's slightly worse and more expensive to use for the supports buying it, like your AAs. Gleipnir, intelligence bonus decrease in line with Atos. Mana nerfed in line with Atos. Talisman nerf 5%. Radiance nerf 5%. A lot of heroes have been buying this. Your Wraith Kings, for example. And of Shadows. Recipe change. Okay, is it going to be a more friendly build-up? It now requires Circlet instead of Fluffy Hat. Okay, so it's slightly cheaper. But the recipe cost has been... okay. By 40. But it is overall cheaper by... okay. No longer provides health and now gives attributes. So you're not going to be as tanky for buy and earn, so your weavers are more sad. And upgrading is now a diadem instead of the vitality booster, so they're trying to push it towards more of a stat item. The recipe cost is unchanged though, so it's not much cheaper. No longer provides health. Now gets the 10 all stats from the diadem. And they just simplified this by reducing health. Okay, 70%. Vladimir's aura is slightly worse, 1 less armor. Orb Destruction's gone, no! Pigpole, no! Shovel's gone, mid laner's gonna be sad. Chip Vest is back. Off laners are quite happy about this. So it's gonna be 30 damage and 20. That's pretty good. Pretty good. New neutral item. Okay. Dormant Curio. Passive. Hidden Potential. Neutral artifacts you choose while holding Dormant Curio will have 30% increased potency. Forgive me. Provides an unleashed element. Sorry. Provides an unleashed enchantment, which improves some stats of the next non-curio artifact that you'll choose while crafting. Improved stats will have a special icon in the description to indicate that it is improved by Dormant Curio. So you're improving the enchantment of your tier 2 item. All improvements will be listed in the summary under each item section. This enchantment is tied to the next non-curio artifact you select. It will be saved as long as you keep the upgraded artifact. Selecting a new one, you'll lose it, yeah. And it can't be retained. Okay, so techies can't cheat. New tier 1 neutral artifact. Active, 1 for the road. Increases movement speed of all allies. So this is Kobold's Cup. Oh, it's Kobold's Cup from the tier 1 neutral camp. I think this is also kind of an homage because at the Birmingham ESL, they would have the Kobold on the screen, and every time it took a drink, the whole crowd went insane, and they were chugging. It was such a good time. I really enjoyed Birmingham. So active. So it's an active item, 1 for the road. Increases movement speed of all allies in an... So you get Kobold's aura for 6 seconds, 10%. That's not bad. That's really not bad. It's like a mini drums, just no attack speed. And we got 1 more tier 1, Sister's Shroud. Oh, this is going to be evasion. Is this early game evasion? That's my guess, because it looks like PA. Passive Veiled, oh no. Whenever your health falls below 50%, you gain a plus 200% evasion bonus for 8 seconds. Each attack negated by evasion reduces this evasion bonus by 0.25. That's insane. Passive Last Caress. Veiled cooldown is only reset if the wearer dies or kills an enemy hero. This is going to be insane on PA. I'm going to be really scared of this neutral item. I have a feeling this is going to get nerfed very quickly. Gossamer Cape gone. Thank God. Iron Talon gone. That's quite sad. Brigand's Blade. Buffed. Nice. Essence Ring. Buffed. Very nice. I love this item. This is one of my favorite items in the game. Because it's like added HP. It's not healing, so it gets through things like AA Blast. Mana Drow is now tier 2. It was too good. It was too good, and they gave it the buff it deserves. Poor Man's Shield is back. Okay. Offlaners. Offlaners. We're eating good. We got Chip Vest. We got Poor Man's Shield. We're looking good. Oh, these aren't buffs. This is if you have Dormant Curio. Okay, so it increases by 0.9. Oh, okay. Gives you 70 more. Yeah. Dormant Curio increases percentage base by 1.2. Dormant Curio increases damage blocked from 30-20 to 39-26. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Dormant Curio increases burn from 72 to 93. I'm assuming that's quite impactful. Shut up. Get out of my ears, boy. What we got? Increases jump distance. I'm curious onto what that looks like. So Nemesis Curse gone. Ninja Gear. Rest in peace, Ninja Gear. First, you got hit with the nerf of the mana cost, and then they just take you out of the game, man. You were too good. You were too good. People loved you too much. The solo plays you would make with this were insane. It was a very good item. Supports could ward. It was so good. Because you didn't have to commit all your smokes. So Gale Guard is only having a Dormant Curio change. And it gives you 75 more barrier, which is still not as good as like Gale Guard on release, right? It was like 400 barrier, if I remember correctly. So this is still weaker than that. So I'm not sure if this will be that impactful, but it might be. Gunpowder Gauntlet. The magic damage is going to be slightly better. Oh, new neutral artifact. Jiddy's Pollen Bag. Activate Pollinate. Spread pollen on enemies within 700 units. So it's an AoE around yourself, similar to like old Veno. So it's like dust. Decreasing their health restoration by 20%. So it's anti-Huskar, anti-Morphling. For 12 seconds and dealing 12% of the target's max health as damage over the duration. It damage ticks every second. No mana cost. High cooldown. Damage is non-lethal. Okay. So you still have to last hit them. So it's like old Veno ult. Dormant Curio increases total max health damage from 12 to 15%. Psychic Headband is back. Okay. You get the Psychic Push. Yeah. Dormant Curio increases push distance. Okay, I'm sure that's going to be quite good. I always loved this item, but you no longer get the cast range increase that was attached with it, which is sad because that's now going to be on the enchantment. Serrated Shiv is only having Dormant Curio increases Roshan damage and the gut health to 10%, which might be good. Whisper of the Dead, spell damage increased by 3%. Okay. Mindbreak is gone, Seal Totem's gone, Ceremonial Robe is gone. Okay, sad about the Seal Totem, but I guess that's okay. No one was really taking the crossbow, so I'm expecting a buff here. No, they're just slapping all the changes to the health restoration, and they're giving the Dormant Curio. So this is also anti-health reduction, anti-Huskar, anti-Morphling. Dazun Bloodrite, new tier 4, passive, Blood Invocation, increases spell AoE by 15%, but spells now also cost health, equal to 35% of their mana cost. I can see this being very good on heroes like Kotl. Maybe, but you also might kill yourself. Giant Maul, new tier 4, passive Crushing Blow. Your next attack is a critical strike that deals 150% of your attack's damage. Hitting an enemy with an empowered strike weakens them, decreasing their move speed by 10%, attack speed by 15%, and cast speed by 20%. And it's a passive. So you don't, it's not another button you have to click. Dawn Cure increases crit to near 200%. Magnifying Monocle. It's just having a Dormant Curio buff. Okay. Outworld Staff. Oh no, is this an OD neutral item? Active Self-Exile. Removes the caster from the world, making them invulnerable and disabled for 0.7. Caster loses 5% of their max HP on return. This damage is not lethal, but it mutes Blink Dagger and similar items. So, okay, so you can't outworld into Blink Away. Pyrrhic Cloak is getting buffed with Dormant Curio, nothing else. Magic Lamp gone, Pirate Head gone. I mean, this item didn't make sense, and I love this item. Book of the Dead changes. Nerf. Warrior health. Nerf. Warrior damage. Nerf. This is a nerf. Demonic Archer health. Nerf. Damage. Buff. It's a nerf to pushing, but it's a buff to farming with the archers. Dormant Curio increases summon duration. Okay, so you can get 2 sets of them, maybe? What's the cooldown? 80 seconds? No, maybe not. But you can have permanent uptime. Divine Regalia. New tier 5. Passive. Exalted. Increases outgoing damage by 20%. If the wearer is killed, the item permanently loses the current enchantment and turns into Disgraced Regalia, which is down here. We'll read it in a sec. Dormant Curio increases damage multiplier to 26%. Disgraced Regalia, Fallen, has nothing to provide to one who dared to die. Appears only to heroes that died with Divine Regalia. Since the 4th slot is taken by your current artifact when recrafting items, it is possible to recraft Disgraced Regalia with working tier 5s enchantments. Divine Regalia can still reappear, so you can recraft it. Okay. Fallen Sky, Dormant Curio buff. Okay. Helm of the Undying. Returning as a tier 5. So this is if you hold the tier 1 neutral item all the way to tier 5, you can get these buffs. Okay. Helm of the Undying. Tier 5. Passive Death Delay. Survive for an extra 5 seconds after receiving a killing blow. So it's returning. Enemy heroes dying within 1200 units extend this effect by 5 seconds. Okay. So if Wraith King has it, it procs before his innate, but after his reincarnation. Okay. Minotaur Horn. Buff. With Dormant Curio. You have BKB for longer. Minotaur Spider Legs with Dormant Curio. 6% more. 3.9 more armor with Stygian. And you go from not being able to slow to... Yeah, if you're slowed, you're faster. I don't know how this changes anything. I'm gonna be honest. I'm shouldn't 100% just be enough, right? Or am I crazy? Enchantment changes. Attack speed bonus decreased from 10 to 35, 10 to 31. Okay, so overall nerf at level 4. Now gives attack range at tier 4. Okay, so the attack speed will just come with the attack range. Brawny will give you slow resistance at tier 4. Nerfs at level 4. Magic resist nerfed level 4 and 3. Now gives cast range at tier 4. So they removed some of the enchantments. Now gives evasion at tier 4 and quickened. Okay. Now gives knockback resistance at tier 4. Nerf to the armor and damage. Vampiric. Bonus night vision at tier 4. Crude no longer provides slow resistance, now provides health resistance. Okay. Now also provides mana. So you get XP and mana. So supports, they really want to take this. Getting into the hero changes. LD, please. LD, please. I am begging. Mephitic Shroud facet's gone. So the one that reduces cooldowns. Okay. Now we have Malignant Mist. Mist Coil also deals 40, 60, 80, 100% of attack damage and applies effects from items and abilities. Self-damage when cast on an enemy is increased. So Core Magnus. Withering Mist is getting a change. No, it's not. They're just slapping all the lifesteal shit into Restoration. Mist Coil no longer has Ag Shard. Aphotic Shield now has the Ag Shard. And the Blade Mail facet is now on the Shard. Even though the Blade Mail facet still exists. So you can double up, I guess. Let's continue. Alchemist. GPM has been decreased, so support is slightly worse. Max stacks decreased. Okay. Movement slow per stack increased. Okay. Base attack damage reduction per stack increased. Okay, so corrosive weaponry is more potent. AA, I'm hoping for a nerf here. Cast range decreased by 300. Nice. Radius decreased. Nice. Ice Blast. 10% nerf. Nice. On the stun duration with the shard. 20 talent. Nerfed. But I still think we're going to see a lot of AA. I don't think this is going to be enough. You need to change something about his E or his Q. But then again, Rod of Atos got hit with some nerfs and some other items, so you never know. Anti-Mage. 15 talent buff. 20 talent. Mana Void stun increased. Okay, so small buffs doesn't mean anything really. This hero's still probably going to lose and just farm. farm and just lose. Doesn't matter in the order. You see the hero, most likely, I think you're just gonna lose. So, Arc Warden. Level 1 now gets Arcane Rune instead of Invisibility. That's much better. Level 20 talent, Magnetic Field cooldown reduction decreased. Okay, that's nice. No, that's a nerf. 2-second nerf. Rave damage increased. Nice. Rave activation delay increased. It's only 0.1 seconds. It might make a difference in niche scenarios. Axe changes call out, so you're gonna get 1 more armor, which is pretty nice. Though the 1-man army facet is still pretty good. Movement slow increased level 1, 2, and 3, but it's gonna be more potent in lane. 20 counter helix damage increased. I mean, it's pure damage, so it might matter. Bane cooldown decreased. Okay, we don't really see this hero much. Batrider's getting a rework, is he? Or just his facets? Let's have a read. Firefly also sets Batrider on fire. He's burning away 2% of his max HP per second, but gains increasingly bigger bonuses to movement speed and spell amp over the duration. Max movement speed bonus 25 through to 40%. Max spell amp bonus 20%. Max bonus values are reached at the end of Firefly's duration and don't linger. Okay. So you're gonna click Firefly and Napalm on the enemy, of course, and you're just gonna like rev up, and you're just gonna get faster and faster and deal more damage. Bonus increase in self-burn damage are applied every 0.1. Okay, self-burn damage does not increase. It's magical and non-lethal, so you can run away with Fireflies still. You won't kill yourself. Increase the max level of Sticky Napalm to 5. Number of times +2 all attributes can be skilled decreased from 7 to 6. Yep. To account for the extra level here. At level 5, make Batrider's attacks apply 1 stack of Sticky Napalm. So, core and magic damage. Sticky Napalm now applies 2 stacks on cast. Stack limit is increased from 10 to 20, but all stack values are halved, okay? Yeah, everything's halved. Everything's halved. Everything's halved, but it's going to feel the same. Aghanim Shard removes the 20 stack limit and allows Sticky Napalm to deal 35% of its damage to buildings. Oh, so he's going to be much better at taking out buildings. Because often with like Batrider drafts, you'd find that you would struggle to high ground if you don't have a dedicated building pusher. This will be slightly different. Although he had the building facet before, but no one was taking it. Beastmaster, he was quite strong. His base agi has been nerfed. His damage level 1 has been nerfed again. Okay, only by 1 each on the range, but it's still a nerf either way. Stacks granted upon the Primal Roar decreased from 10, 15, 20 to just 10. Okay, so Ags is worse. Level 15 talent. Buffed. Okay. Blood Rush is gone. It was never played. And here we have Old Blood for Bloodseeker. Blood Rage replaces a spell amp with damage amp up to 25%. The ability now also silences, so it's basically you give yourself Mask of Madness with damage amp. But it also it can be cast on enemies. Interesting. Decreases cast range from 800 to 400, increases mana cost from 0 to 60. Support Bloodseeker. Level 10 talent, Blood Rage spell amp replaced with Blood Rage damage amp. Obviously for the core. But there's some brew of a support Bloodseeker here. Where you cast Blood Rage on like an enemy spellcaster to silence them. And giving them the damage doesn't really matter. You could buy like Rod, Glimmer, these kind of items, Aether Lens, Signs. I could see it work. Bounty Hunter. Fade time for the friendly Shadow Shard decreased. Okay. Damage increased. Kind of negligible. Brewmaster. Heroes need some love. Cast point improved. Okay, very nice. Cooldown rescaled. Worse level 1, better level 4. Damage increased. Better level 1. Better every level. Better every level. Cinder Brew. Cooldown decreased. Much better in lane. Same level 4. The Earth Brewling's attack damage increased by 5, 10, 15 per level. Demolish has been decreased though. Not as good, because you want the Earth Brewling just to push. Storm Brewling, Cyclone now deals damage, so it can kill. It can also disable Blink Daggers now. Storm Brewling's Windwalk bonus move speed increased, so it's better chasing and running away. Fire Brewling. The radius for the radiant. The radius for the radiance is slightly bigger. I don't think that's going to matter much, but when you're chasing and trying to cancel a Blink Dagger, it will matter. Level 20 talent, attack speed. Okay, so Brew got some love. Hopefully the hero is good. But I don't hope he's too good, because he ravages pub matches. Warpath, seeing red, vision cone increased, so you can see more. 20 more degrees to be exact. Vicious nasal goo, base armor loss decreased, so it's worse level 1 and 3, but same level 2 and 4. So it's worse in lane, same at max level. Base movements, okay, so it's much worse in lane. You're much less likely to just get a kill out of nowhere level 1 with goo. Quill Spray added an auto cast. Right click the ability to make it auto. they're making Brittle even simpler. So instead of spamming QW, you just have to spam Q now. I can't. That's actually funny. Spider's Milk is no longer dispellable, so you will always get the regen on Brood. Spider's Milk buff, 15 talent changed, but it's a buff to right click. No, they swapped the 15 and 20, which I think is good, because you didn't really feel like you needed the webs at 15. And the damage would be nice, and they buffed the restore. So at level 20, when you would have had both anyway, you actually got a buff of 1 second. Centaur. Now, we saw Chip Vest is back. Poor Man's Shield is back. So I'm hoping this hero is good, because I will play a lot of this hero. Now also counts non-hero damage taken from enemies. Okay. Cast range increased. I'm going to be playing some Centaur. I think this hero is going to be good, and I'm excited for it. Chaos Knight. Bounce range increased. Okay. Maximum damage increased. Support Chaos Knight? I mean, support Chaos Knight. Oh, no, this is for core? No, he has 3 facets. This is the facet that doesn't get taken. So maybe it might get taken, but I doubt it. I mean, you got the Chaos facet, which is good for support. And then you got the item building one, which is good for core. Shen, this hero needs love. He is dog water at the moment. Base damage increased by 2. Harass better in lane. Damage level 1 increased. Buff. Holy Persuasion. Bonus damage increased. Buff. Existing units now receive the benefits of Shen leveling up or improving. Buff. No longer upgraded with Ags. Okay. Now Shen's teleporting units also receive the buff when this ability is cast on Shen himself. Very nice. Now upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. Reduces the cooldown by 40 seconds. It becomes a channeled spell. After the initial heal, Shen can keep channeling the ability for up to 6 seconds. To grant debuff immunity and 60% magic res to all allied units within 800 radius? Other than himself? This effect also triples the Hand of God's heal over time. Oh, Shen. I played... Oh, yes! I'm going to be playing some Shen, boys. My friend is ruining it. I'm so excited for Shen. Level 15 talent, Holy Persuasion damage increased from 12 to 14. Level 20 talent, Holy Persuasion minimum health increased from 1200 to 1300. Bro, he's getting buff after buff after buff. Level 20 talent, minus 30 Hand of God cooldown, replaces 20% healing amp. Oh, this is so nice. Clinks. Cooldown decreased from 80 to 70. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really see people buying it much. It is the Aghanim Scepter. Level 15 talent, attack range decreased, so nerf. Clockwork, armor power. Clockwork gains the... Oh, it's new. He gains an ability to self-cast chainmail item to consume it. Each consumed chainmail provides him with +4 armor. Number of stacks is unlimited. So you spend 550 gold and consume it? What? I can't... How is that going to be impactful other than, like, super late game? Or am I missing something?
Prepare for battle.
Like, surely this is only going to be good late game. Oh my god, you get bigger the more chainmails. You get bigger the more chainmails.
The turtle wins the
You get so big. BKB. Give me... sorry, this one. Give me an Ogre Magi. Max is level. Holy, you get so big.
trip trap.
Like, you're a giant. Alright, well that's interesting. I don't see how that's going to be good other than, like, super late game, but... I'm sure there might be some cracked people who figure something out. Arcane Overflow. Allied mana restoration decreased by 10%. Now also restores a portion of mana to Crystal Maiden herself. Activation no longer interrupts movement. Okay. I'm pretty sure the shield one is still going to be better. Darkseer, agility gain decreased. Normal punch cooldown increased. Slight nerfs, but I still think the hero is good. Dark Willow, bonus health regen increased. Bonus mana regen increased. So that's whenever you... Okay. That's whenever you cast your W. Cooldown decreased from 22... From 16 to 21 to 15. So, okay. Quite annoying, but this is fine. It's always annoying to target a Dark Willow. Dawnbreaker, base damage decreased by 5. Damage at level 1 decreased from 54 to 49. So she's gonna hit slightly harder, or slightly weaker in lane. Gonna be harder for her to CS. Starbreaker now will grant the attack speed buff even if Starbreaker was interrupted. That's nice. Break of Dawn has been reworked. Can't be leveled up. Whenever the sun comes out, Dawnbreaker gains bonus damage and bonus vision that decreases throughout the course of the day. Okay. So she's going to be really strong at the beginning of the day, so people are going to be looking to fight, similar to like a Night Stalker, when it becomes nighttime, when he wants to hunt. Aghanim Shard upgrade that also destroys trees in front of Dawnbreaker. So you can't kite. You can't juke her as easily. Also gets you out of Sprout. A lot of Nature's Prophets. Dazzle. Cast range rescaled. Buff level 1 and 2. Nerf level 4. Duration increased. Okay. Buff level 1. Buff level 4. Yeah, just buffed. Healing amp per 10% missing increased. Nice buff to Shadow Grave. Dazzle needed a tiny bit of love, but not too much. On his support kit, specifically. Death Prophet. Damage increase, level 1. 2 and 3. Silence. Faster to come out. 15 talent. Bigger AoE. Disruptor. This facet will slow you longer on the Q. Just a bug fix on the wall. And we have a new facet. Transference. Increases the max level of electromagnetic repulsion to 4. Improves with static storm. Can be activated targeting allied heroes or self. Manual cast deals damage equal to 10% of Disruptor's current health and sets ability on cooldown. So you can choose an ally to repulse, or you can manually cast it on yourself, okay? Thunderstrike. Aghanim Shard dormant duration decreased, okay? So as a nerf, like if you just, I believe, if you just click it on nothing, it will just disappear faster. Level 15 talent, static storm duration replaced with max DPS. I don't know if that's a nerf or a buff. I think it's a buff to heroes that leave the static storm fast, but a nerf if they sat in for the whole duration. 20 talent, slow duration. Okay, so they're trying to promote the new facet, giving more radius on the repulsion. 20 talent, field duration decreased. Nerf. Doom, soulmap percentage decreased even more. This used to be like 95% or something. Doom mana cost decreased. Okay, I don't think it was really that impactful when he's level 18, because he always had like Octarine Core, for example, at that point, so it didn't really hurt him as much. Aghanim Scepter radius increased. Yeah, it was quite easy to run out of it, I'm gonna be honest. Stay hydrated, guys. Moving on with Dragon Knight. Worm's Wrath. Instead of reducing healing, it's now health restoration. Okay, so no other changes. Drow Ranger. Aghanim Scepter instead of... Okay, so it's now just health restoration. No changes. Glacier's knockback is slightly bigger. Earthshaker. Remove the innate that gives him XP. Now has tectonic buildup, which is the same. Radius increase rescaled from 50 with every 10 to 40 with every level of Echo Slam. Okay. Not as good overall, but better at level 18. It would have been. Fissure. Enemy heroes. So Resonating Ridge. New. Enemy heroes stunned by Fissure emit an echo to each nearby unit within a 400 radius, dealing 60% of Echo Slam's current echo damage. This sounds insane. And Slugger's now an innate. An innate. Damage creep depth decreased. It's not by much though. I don't think it's going to be that impactful considering you get it no matter what facet you pick. Radius decrease on Aftershock. Echo Slam damage decreased slightly because they're worried about Resonating Ridge. Elder Titan. Hero needs a tiny bit of love. Deconstruction. Armor reduction per second decreased. Okay, so there's a nerf. Magic resist reduction per second decreased. Nerf. Astral Spirit no longer automatically rejoins Elder Titan on collision with him. Now requires the duration to run out or the return ability to be cast. Very nice, so you can run through yourself now. Searing Chains, so you just have more authority over Astral Spirit. Getting sidelined. Searing Chains, number of units increase from 1 to 2. So instead of rooting 3, you root 4. And with all your clones, you can root like 8, 12, however many. Insane. I don't think he needed this buff. Enchantress, attack range bonus increased. 40 level 1, 30 level 2, 30 level 3, 10 level 4. Better early. Impetus mana cost rescaled. Better level 1 in lane. Cheaper. Enigma. Eidolon damage rescaled from 20 to 47 to 16 to 49. So it's worse level 1. Slightly worse level 2, same level 3, better level 4. That kind of sucks as an Enigma player in lane for level 1. Faceless Void, level 10. Time dilation DPS increased. Time lock damage increased by 5. Okay, buff. Time walk cooldown reduction increased. Buff. 20 talent attack speed during Chronosphere increased. Okay, so some buffs to Void. I don't think it's going to bring him back into the meta though. Especially with the joke that Time Zone is. Grimstroke, Stroke of Fate, Fine Art, new facet. It's not new, it's just been reworked. Grimstroke launches a mirrored curved stroke from his free hand. Each enemy can take damage only from one stroke, but still contributes to bonus damage accumulation for both. I need to know how this looks.
I alone, nothing wasted.
Interesting.
Prepare for battle. Run all you like.
Okay. That's quite nice. You're definitely more likely to hit people. Point vector target behavior, previously exclusive to Fine Art, is now enabled by default? Wait a minute. This was vector targeted and I didn't even realize it?
I alone hold back. the
Oh, look at this.
Almost ready. It was my hand alone.
You can go like straight to the side. Oh, the skill gap on this is going to become insane. When you're running away... Yeah. The skill ceiling on this hero just got a lot higher. Bonus damage per unit replaces separate values for heroes and creeps. Okay. If the debuff ends on the primary target early, it will also be destroyed on the secondary target. Okay, so it will no longer like rechain. So that's enough. Grimstroke's looking pretty sexy, guys. Base armor decreased by 1 on gyro. Movement speed duration increased. Okay. Hoodwink no longer increases buff duration. Okay, so nerf. Mana cost duration. Mana cost decreased. Okay, buff. Buff duration increased. Okay, so they just took it from Go Nuts and just slapped it on as a base. Huskar, Aghanim Sharp movement slow increased. That's a buff. Invoker. I don't really want to go through this hero. It's a lot. So he's got 4 more damage. He's got less intelligence gain. Aghanim Scepter no longer grants 2 levels to facet-centered orb and 1 to others. Now only gives 1 to all. Okay. Removed basic facet exclusive upgrades. Okay. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm not really an Invoker player. This is gonna screw my mind. No longer gains the 2nd additional level. That's on all of them. Okay. No longer restores mana or health. So these are the exclusives. Gone. So no attack range. No size and travel distance. Okay. Aghanim Scepter Cataclysm. Nerf. Longer cooldown. Aghanim Scepter spawn interval increased. Okay, so nerf. Aghanim Scepter per twisted damage rescaled. This might be a buff. It's a buff later, but a nerf earlier. Aghanim Scepter twisted duration changed. Okay. Ice Wall. Aghanim Shard upgrade moved to Aghanim Scepter and reworked. Aghanim Scepter makes the skill vector targeted. Yeah. Sure. To create a moving ice flow instead of ice wall. After 1.3 second delay, the ice flow forms from the center of the targeted area. Enemies that stay in it for longer than 2.5 seconds freeze. Okay, becoming rooted. And taking damage. Sounds pretty good. It sounds a lot better than giving everyone in your team Ghost Walk. Aghanim Scepter cast range is 600. It can freeze the same unit multiple times if they leave and enter again. Ghost Walk. Now Shard upgrade. And applies Ice Wall's damage. Okay. Wex gives attack speed now. Attack damage has been buffed per instance. Cold Snap, freeze damage increased. Okay, more potent in lane. Sunstrike, damage decreased. That's nice. Less potent early game because it's just a bunch of pure damage that comes out of nowhere. Forge Spirit duration rescaled. Better in lane. It lasts longer. Ice Wall is based on an individual unit gaining the debuff rather than on the interval for the entire wall. As a result, the first damage instance is now applied instantly, so you can't blink away immediately. And the tick rate is being improved by 50%. It's been rescaled to based off your exhaust, so it's much better. Supports AoE, okay. Sunstrike cooldown replaced with orb level, okay. IO! Remove Sightseer innate. I don't remember what it did. But we have a new one. Wellspring. New innate ability. Oh no, this is the one that let you take watches faster. So he's got Wellspring. Can't be leveled up. Consumable items and item abilities that restore health and mana over time affect IO twice as fast. So IO is back on the menu, baby. Total amount of restored health and mana remains the same. This applies to, yeah, all of these regen items that heal over a duration of time, so not like Mechanism. So 150 over 12 instead of 150 over 25. Spirits, Aghanim set to movement slow increased. Okay, buff. Cooldown decreased on relocate. Buff level 1, 2, and 3. IO is probably back on the menu. Jakiro, I'm hoping for a nerf. Bonus damage rescaled. It's lower, and that is what I like to see, especially level 1 and 2. Macropire, linger duration decreased from 2 to 1. Very nice. So when you run out of it, you get burnt by 2 less ticks. I don't know if it ticks by 0.5 or by 1, but it's either 2 or 1 tick. Aghanim set to no longer increases flame width by 70. Okay. Stay hydrated, guys. So Juggernaut, Blade Fury. Damage tick interval is no longer based on Juggernaut's attack speed. And it's now 5 ticks per second. So it's consistent, okay. Damage has been rescaled per tick to... So I think it's a buff. This sounds like a buff to me. In lane, but maybe a nerf in late game. Level 20 talent. Blade Fury cooldown replaced with Blade Fury DPS. Okay. Keeper of the Light. I've been playing... Oh, okay. So, my most recent video is now kind of invalid. Chakra Magic is now only applied to the teleport target. So you can't abuse Recall to lower like Will-O-Wisp and shame. Shame. Oh well. Because Recall used to lower its own cooldown. It was quite silly. Spirit Form, cast range bonus decreased. Okay. Chakra Magic cooldown reduction nerf. Okay. Kotal nerf. Kotal big nerf. My video kind of invalid. Thank you, Valve. Kez. This hero also gives me a fucking headache. I mean, look at this. Base health regen increased. Okay. Attack speed increased. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, guys. This is a lot. Shadowhawk no longer gives cooldown reduction. Invis bonus crit decreased. I'm just gonna say nerf or buff. Okay, so this is a nerf. Now also increases buff duration. Buff. Switch discipline. Nerf. Katana now increases damage gained. Buff. Buff overall, I think. Especially later in the game. Echo Slash. Nerf level 1, better level 4. Nerf level 1, better level 4 on damage and cooldown. Grappling Claw, no longer life steals, that's important. Mana cost decreased, cheaper. Cooldown decreased, okay. Cast range decreased, good. So buff, nerf, nerf. Move slow rescaled. Better level 4, worse level 1. Better level 3 and 4. Slow, low lasts are fixed. Okay. No longer applies health regen. You guys can pause the video. I don't play this hero, and it's going to give me a headache. I don't want to read Kez. I do apologize. Kunkka! Grog Blossom. X marks the spot. Upon return, now always applies Ghost Ship's Admiral's run buff to Kunkka himself. Okay. Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll read Kez. I'll do it. Where do I get to? Kazurai Katana. No longer applies health regen reduction. Yep. Damage per second rescaled. So it's worse. Level 1. Same level 2. Better level 3 and 4. Okay. Duration rescaled to a flat 7. Better in lane. Worse level 4. Now as a reworked active component. Kez impales the target. So that was the old shard. So the shard has been reworked. Adds 100% lifesteal. Okay. So it's like a mini satanic. If the impalement was made from behind, the slow is replaced with a stun and the number of bleed stacks is increased. Positioning matters. Raptor Dance, 1 second channeling was replaced with a 1 second cast time. Strikes count increased to a flat 4, better level 1 and 2. Base damage rescaled, worse level 1. Oh, but you're now slashing 4 times, so before it was 150, now it's 100 and... yeah, it's a nerf. Okay. Max health has damage decreased. Nerf again. Lifesteal against illusions has penalty. Makes sense. I feel like it should have done that in the first place. Falcon Rush. Gives you slow resistance buff. Secondary attack damage decreased. Okay. Rush range is no longer increased by AoE bonuses. Okay. Cooldown rescaled. Worse level 1. Better level 4. Talent Toss. No longer AoE. Only silences in 1. Now inflicts True Strike and fixed damage. Okay. More guaranteed damage. Rescaled. Worse level 1. Better level 4. Silence duration increased. Okay. Better in lane. Cooldown decreased. Better in lane. Shodo Sai. Chance to mark increased. Okay. Mark no longer provides True Strike. Nerf. So no longer has lifesteal on W, and he no longer procs True Strike on his marked units. No longer grants bonus stun or crit strike from marks. Oh, so you don't even get that anymore when you parry. Okay. 10 talent. Radius now instead of mana regen, so you're more likely to have a choice. Raven's Veil gives parry bonus, has been replaced with Raptor Dance Strike, so you strike 5 times. Level 20 talent. Falcon Rush Evasion replaced with attack damage to Talent Toss. Okay. Level 20 talent. Kazurai Katana damage per second decreased from 5 to 4. Okay. Legion. Grog Blossom. Upon return, X marks the spot. Kunkka. Now always applies Ghost Ship's Admiral's run buff to Kunkka himself. Okay, so it's a small buff. Legion Commander. Outfight them. Now levels up with Jewel. Instead of increasing all that, it's now health restoration, so they're just cleaning up the keywords. Now applies when attacking enemy heroes that are equal or higher level than you, instead of only higher level. So this actually does something at level 30 when everyone's level 30. Basically. Because before, if every hero is level 30, you would just have no innate as Legion. Canoptic Nourishment. Leshrac. No longer improves with Pulse Nova's level. Is now just a flat 25%. Okay. Much better level 6 and 12. It's just much better. It's worse than when Leshrac would have hit level 12 and 18, but much better before then. So it's good in lane, much better in lane. Aghanim Shard additional cast decreased. Okay. Lich removed Frostbound Facet. You now have Evil Eye. Sinister Gaze applies an Evil Eye debuff that will deal additional 10 scaling damage up to 25 every time Lich deals magic damage to the target. And amplifies received movement slows by 50%. The Evil Eye debuff duration lingers up to 2 times the elapsed Sinister Gaze channel duration. So full channel time, you get double it, okay. Abilities and items that do not proc certain other abilities, Blood Grenade Radiance, do not trigger the additional magic damage, okay. Sinister Gaze, mana drain per second increased, no longer has extended duration on creeps. Now the orb just lingers for 2 seconds. It's not even a facet anymore, that is just base chain thrust. What a buff, insane buff. Ice Spire, heroes... Okay, so Lich is back. Hero hits to kill decreased, creep hits to kill decreased. Lifestealer, big strength decreased. Damage at level 1 decreased. Okay, worse level 1. Damage over time debuff is now undispellable. I didn't realize it was dispellable. Oh, it's the infest damage over time debuff. Right. Yeah, makes sense. Feast, heal from target's max health rescaled. Max health damage rescaled. It's now worse level 4. Worse. Better level 1. Better early. Infest, max HP. Okay. Lena, combustion. Overheat damage increased from 10, 30, 50, 70 to 50, 35, 55, 75. Okay, so Lena might come back. Damage has been increased. Better level 2 and 3. Okay. Lena might make a small resurgence. Who knows? Lion, Finger of Death. Oh, I see Lone Druid. Let's hide that. Lion, Finger of Death. Cooldown decreased from 140 to 130. Okay, so it's better level 1 and 2. But the Scepter cooldown is much worse. Okay, so you're only reducing it by 10 instead of 20 now. Lone Druid, come on. Ah, that doesn't look very big. Gemma True Sight's passive True Sight now works when carried. Man, what is this, man? What? No, dude. Where are my buffs? The hero feels so weak. Where are the buffs? How could you do this? Why would you do this to me? Lycan. Bonus health per wolf increased. Yeah, but that's on the non-micro facet, so who cares? Now can also be used on ally creep heroes. Ooh. An indirect buff to Lone Druid. You can wolf bite the bear. I'm gonna want to test this. This is gonna be amazing. Level 20 shapeshift duration increased. Okay. Magnus, slow duration decreased. Okay, so nerf. Aghanim Shard tree hit damage increased. Cliff hit damage increased. Okay. So nerf and a buff. Agility gain increased. Buff. Damage gain per level increased. Buff. Damage rescaled from 75. Marcy's going to see a resurgence. Mana cost decreased on the rebound. Slightly less damage on Dispose level 1, but more level 4. And you're scaling better on Marcy. Mid lane Marcy, maybe? Mars, HP regen per enemy increased from 50 to 70. Smaller radius. Buff. Buff and a nerf. Buff and a nerf. It's more of a fight me in the arena, right? And a buff and a talent. Medusa, hoping for nerfs. Mana cost increased. Nerf. Mana cost increased. Nerfed. Base damage decreased. Nerf. Mana gain rescaled. Flat 15. Worse level 3 and 4. Nerf. Hopefully this kills the hero. I don't think it will. Meepo. Base armor 1. Nerf. Closed stats. 5% more. I mean, sure, man. Sure, man. Don't show my heroes love, why don't you? Mirana, root duration. Buffed. People might take it. I think the blind one is better. Changing of the guard. New facet. While Wukong's command is active, Monkey King gains a changing of the guard ability, which allows him to transform into any one of his soldiers. Upon cast, he takes the place of the soldier closest to the target location, and leaves another one in his stead. Oh, he goes invulnerable for 1.5, and while he's transfigured, he's indistinguishable from other soldiers, but he can't issue commands. That sounds crazy. I want to demo this quick. That sounds crazy, dude. That sounds really good.
These fools won't know what hit.
I want to be this one. I'll be this one. I'll be this one. Wait, I think there was a visual cue. If you look at the guards, I'm gonna choose this guard. It has a ring around it. You'll know which one he'll pop out at, but it's gonna be hard to see that ring in a fight. Cast range decreased, nerf. Counter duration decreased. Okay. Worsen lane. You can kite the Jingu easier. You can come in and out more. Morphling. I'm hoping for nerfs. Please, goddamn nerfs. Strength gain decreased. Nerf. Yes. Base mana regen decreased to 0. Nerf. Yes. Shift rate decreased. Nerf. Yes. Shift rate decreased. Nerf. Yes. Morphlate. Nerfed. Yes. Level 20 talent. Nerfed. Okay. I don't think it will kill the hero, but it might, because the mana regen is quite big. The strength gain is quite big. Shift rate is also quite big, I'm going to be honest. But it's the same level 4. Ha! Offrender's... The griefy Offrender facet is gone. And we have Quick Draw. Whenever an enemy is feared, Gunslinger proc chance increases to 1.5 times base chance. Each time Gunslinger procs, the remaining Deadshot cooldown is reduced. Ah. Buff to Core Monitor, but supports might also pick it. Level 20 talent. 2 charges replaced with duration. Magic resist gone, and you get the 2 charges of 25. Nerf? Because you don't get access to the 2 charges as early. Base agility increased. Damage at level 1 increased by 1. Small buffs to Naga. Deluge. No longer reduces enemy status resistance. Okay. Damage increased. Okay. Max movement speed decreased. Okay. And Snare. Aghanim Scepter now also applies break to the target. We're buffing support Naga. We are buffing support Naga, and I am here for it. Cooldown decreased. Yes, we are buffing support Naga. Level 25 talent and Snare replaced with more agi. Profit! We need some nerfs. Attack range decreased. Good. Removed Ironwood Treant. Yes! Yes! Okay, so, big fat tree is gone. Thank God. Sprout. The healing has reworked. Now enchants all trees around the sprout. Each tree emits a healing aura. Okay. But I want to read Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet's Nature's Prophet. Whenever an enemy hero is killed by Nature's Prophet or dies within 750 range of him, 2 seconds later a money tree grows in their place. Each tree spawns 2 gold bags every second, which can be picked up by any hero. Each gold bag grants gold equal to 1.5 times of the killed hero's level. Each money tree has a lifespan of... What? So a money tree will spawn 6 gold bags total, giving 1.5 times the killed hero's level. And they disappear after 15 seconds of lying on the ground and get created at a 200 radius to 250. Gold bags are automatically picked up by heroes within 50 range. Money tree also gives 2 times Tango healing. Okay. Level 15 talent, plus 100 teleportation barrier replaced with plus 1 Nature's Prophet gold bags per tick. So he's still going to be money, but he has to get kills for it. Interesting. He's like a mini bounty hunter. Sprout, damage decreased. Okay. Barrier decreased. Okay. Nerf. I'm just glad the facet's gone, man. That facet being gone, that's all I need to see, I'm gonna be honest. Necro. Mana regen per kill increased. Okay, buff. Health increased. Buff. Level 10 talent. Cast range replaced with Ghost Shroud cooldown. I also think that's a buff. We might see more Necros. Night Stalker, I play this hero. Let's hope for some buffs. Voidbringer, no one chooses this facet. Level 5 now also increases move slow and attack slow. That's not enough to make me pick it. We're nerfing the 20 talent, so you get 15 strength instead of 20. Okay. Next sense, you can spot invis heroes in a slightly larger radius, and the cooldown on Spike Carapace has been decreased. Nyx is still kind of in a weird place ever since they changed his W insta-killing creeps. I'm not sure if this will be enough to bring him back. Ogre Magi, base strength increased from 23 to 25. Okay, damage at level 1 increased by 2. It's going to be tradey in lane. And the slow is much better level 1 2. Because it's now a flat 25% on Ignite. But it's worse level 3 and 4. So in lane, yeah, he's going to be a lot more annoying, this Ogre Magi. Hammer of Purity, Omni Knight. Mana cost decreased to 0. Now briefly slows move speed and increases attack range by 75 for the hit. This might be enough to bring Omni Knight back. Like, unironically, this might be enough. Oracle, attack range increased. Now also foretells which power rune will spawn. Pressing Alt will now display which rune will spawn and a timer before it spawns. So you don't have to do it yourself, you can just hold Alt now. Nothing will be shown above the rune spot if the next rune will spawn in the other rune spot. Okay. Fate's Edict, cast range rescaled to a flat 700, worst level 4, but better early. OD, level 10 talent. Nerfed, 15 talent. Current mana is move speed decreased, nerfed. 20 talent. Mana difference decreased, nerfed. Nice. Pangolia. Shield crash, double jump, min damage barrier increased to 30% buff. Per hero increased, buff. PA. Blur is now an innate ability that improves with coup de grace. No longer dispelled when near enemy outposts, watchers or base buildings other than towers or ancient. Now dispelled when attacking Roshan or enemy barracks. Now upgraded with Aghanim Shard. Decreases cooldown. Anytime Phantom Assassin gets a kill. Her ability cooldown is advanced 60%. Okay. Immaterial is now a basic ability. Phantom Assassin focuses inward, increasing her ability. So you now level the evasion again. And it's now flat. Okay. Fanonize is now Ag Scepter. So I'm expecting buffs because it's gone from a shard to a scepter. So max health has increased by 2%, break duration increased by 1 second, and the cooldown reduced. Yeah, that makes it an ability worthy as a scepter in my opinion. PL needs love. Pace health regen increased from 1.5 to 2. Okay. Spirit Lance no longer bounces with Scepter. Now it's Phantom Rush. Increases max distance by 625. Whenever Phantom Lancer rushes through enemies, he creates juxtaposed illusions that attack them. Ah, so you rush towards and create an army that start rushing towards them. And 20 talent, the range, which is now on the Ag Scepter, is replaced with damage. Very nice. I kind of want to try this. Phoenix, max health increased by 10%, buff. 20 stun duration increase, buff. Quite small. Illusory Orb, Curveball. Now also makes Orb deal 5% of its damage every 0.5 seconds in its damage radius. Interesting, so you can like double hit people. Or triple hit if they follow the Orb. Aghanim Scepter, instead of... Yeah, it's just health restoration now. They're re-keywording it, no other changes. Sad pudge noises. Pugna. Spell increase per destroyed tower, so they're incentivizing sieging with Pugna more. And Decrep cast range increased. Very nice. Spell damage increased on bondage, so that's a nerf. Movement slow rescaled. Better level 1, worse level 4. So nerfs to Quap, but Shadow Strike's better in lane. Razor, spell amp per bonus attack damage increased. So this is a small buff. Level 10. Cloak and Dagger move speed increased. Buff. Cloak and Dagger fade delay reduction. Massive buffs on Reki. I mean, you gotta get to level 25 though. But I don't know how much this will matter when they have a gem. So I think those buffs on Reki are quite negligible. Dark Carnival Barker. If Ringmaster does not have a souvenir, he'll be granted one upon death instead of upon respawn. Forgive me. Ringmaster will no longer be granted a souvenir if he has no souvenirs and dies to a neutral creeper Roche. Okay. Mana cost increased from 80 to 120. Nerf. Bonus move speed rescaled. 0, 8, worse, worse, better, better. Okay. Impact damage decreased. Nerf. Illusion max health loss rescaled. Nerf. Level 10 talent replaced with more impact damage. Nerf and a buff. Nerf to the W. Buff to the E. Rubik. Telekinesis cooldown decreased. Buff, 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 buff. Just 1 second flat across the board. Certain spells that are toggleable and do not have a health or mana cost are no longer stealable. So, Mars Bulwark, Medusa's Split Shot, Muerta's Gunslinger, and PL's Phantom Lush. Okay. Remove Sand Shroud and Dust Devil facets. So we've got 2 new facets. We have Sand Blast. When SK attacks enemies in Sandstorm, he applies a debuff that blinds the target. Okay. Final Sting. So it's like a manly right-click Sand King build. Final Sting. Each enemy hero hit by Stinger in innermost radius instantly emits a Caustic Finale explosion. Interesting. So we have a burst and a right-click man build. Or like a tanky utility tanking. Base damage increased. Dying units max health as damage decreased. Okay, so I feel like it probably evens out. Sandstorm radius increased. Once again, grants invisibility by default. Yes, yes, yes. Because there's no facet that takes that away anymore. So he is just now an invis hero. It's no longer conditional. Radius rescaled. Okay. Bonus damage rescaled. Better level 1. Okay. Worse level 4. Talents. 20 talent. Base incremental radius. Decreased. Nerf. Level 20 talent. 35 blind. Replaced with slow. 10% buff to the slow. And if you have the facet, you would have had 50% blind already in the game, so it would have been better. But if you had the other facet, it's a nerf. Damage amp per stack increased. Small buff. Shadow Fiend. Move slow per stack increased to 6% level 1 and 8% level 2 again. This hero might be a menace in the mid lane once again. Hero kills now give 3 souls. I didn't know they didn't before. Feast of Souls. Cooldown increased. Mana cost increased. So nerf. Nerf on duration. But now also gives move speed. Okay, so it's slightly more utility. Similar to like TB Shard. 15 talent. Okay, so Aura will no longer affect buildings, so he's not part of like fast push lineups anymore. Massive Serpent Ward. Damage multiplier increased to 12 times, so it does even more damage. So just 600 level 1 now. Okay, that's very nice. On creation, wards now prioritize the closest enemy hero in their attack range. Small micro buff for those who can't micro. Removed Irrepressible and... Okay, both facets gone. So we have 2 new facets. Suffering Silence. Silencer deals 10 scaling to 25% more damage to silenced targets and takes 10 scaling to 25% less damage from them. Improves with global silence. Okay. And we have Synaptic Split. Increases the max level of Glaives of Wisdom to 5. Number of times +2 all attributes can decrease for the Level 5 Glaives. Bounces! Okay, so the old shard is now a facet. So, what is the new shard? Does he just no longer have a shard? It doesn't say. What's his shard now?
The silence deepens.
It just increases int, stolen per kill, and nothing else. Okay. Level 20 talent, bounce replaced with insta duration. Sure. Scar of Mage. Int increased, damage level 1 increased. 10 talent, more cast range. Okay, so slightly worse for the core. Less damage. Spell Pierce immunity replaced with int multiplier, but it's a lot more than the 10, so you'll do a lot more damage. So it might be better late game. Slardar, base armor decreased by 1, nerf. Bonus armor increased. So he had his base armor decreased by 1, but he got 2 more from his facet. So we might see more Slardars. Only 1 less armor on the scepter as well. Yeah, this is a buff. This is a Slardar buff. Slark, duration decreased on Essence Shift. It's worse level 1, 2, 3, better level 4. No, it's worse across the board. Depth Shroud, cast range decreased. Okay, so support Slark is slightly worse. Thank God, I don't want people to be picking this. Auto attack bonus damage on non-glancing shots increased. Buff. Impact damage replaced with 2 cookie charges. 2 cookies! Snapfire might be back in the meta. 2 cookies. Bonus attack range rescaled. Worse level 1 and 2. Same level 3, better level 4. No longer increases armor, so you're going to waddle away and don't get the armor buff if you choose to man up with it. And you get more vision. But you get restricted to okay, similar to like Bristle's Facet. That's interesting. Spectre, but I get it's kind of it feels right, like with the lore, like Sniper, you're looking down, you only have a certain FOV. Spectre, Desolate, radius decrease, buff. This is a buff because radius for units to be nearby for it to proc, so this is actually a buff. Duration rescaled. Buff level 1, nerf level 3. Duration decreased, nerf. Planar Pocket reworked. Now as a unit targeted ability. He gains magic resist. So target spells to get redirected. Redirected spells are not considered as reflected if Spirit Breaker is under effects such as Lotus Orb's Echo Shell. Redirected spells will be reflected back to the enemy caster. If the redirected spell has different interactions for allies and enemies. Cooldown increased by 5. Mana cost increased by 25. I still don't think it's good. Base move speed increased from 300 to 310. Okay. Meld. We're hoping for TA nerfs. Armor reduction decreased from 5, 6, 7, 8 to 3.5. Very good. Very good. Very good. Worse in lane. You're not going to get double melded on the first creep wave. Bonus damage decreased to 55. Much worse in lane. Psionic Trap. Aghanim Shard min silence decreased 0.25. Much better. You're not forcing people to buy an answer to it just because you got a shard for free. Level 10 talent. Sorry, ignore me. My bad. Oh, I know. Showing it off. Showing it off. Level 10 talent. Meld debuff duration decreased. Okay. Terrorblade. Level 15 talent. Side blade attack and split range replaced with armor reduction. Okay. Base health regen decreased from 1.5 to 0.5. So he still was tanky, but he'll regen slightly slower. Mana cost increased, worse in lane. Base bonus damage rescaled, worse early in the game, but better later. Bonus move speed decreased from 100 to 60. Yeah, this shard needed a nerf. It was kind of crazy. He would just click shard and haste move speed TV running through. It was kind of crazy to play around, and not something I would wish to play against, I'm gonna be honest. It was not fun. You just could not get away from this hero. Or you could not catch him, either or. Mana gain on tree kill increased. They're trying to make Timbersaw better. Building damage is better. Another buff here to his armor. Another buff here. Don't see much timber. Tinker, base armor decreased by 2. That's pretty big. March of the Machines, damage decreased. Very nice. He needs some small nerfs. Tiny, attack range decreased. Nice. He needs nerfs. Attack speed reduction increased. Very nice. Damage decreased. Nice. Level 15 talent avalanche damage increased. Okay, that offsets the nerf here. I can understand. Treant Protector. It makes it worse early. Nature's damage taken cooldown decreased. Okay, so this is a buff. Duration increased. This is a buff, especially on like towers early game. It's the same level 4. Cooldown decreased. 10 seconds of 1, 2, and 3. Very nice. I still don't think Treant will be seen much, but it's a step in the right direction. Troll Warlord. Maim damage increased by 5, 5, 5, and 5 across the board. Okay. Still not a great hero. No longer loses cleave on death, though if you're dead for a long time, who knows? Demonic Warrior, yeah, so it's just the same necro changes that we saw with the Undying Book of the Dead. Undying, base damage increased by 2. Damage at level 1 rescaled by 2. So he's going to be more fight me. Damage and heal rescaled. Worse, better. Okay, so they're incentivizing maxing it earlier. Ursa. I think we're almost done. How long have I been recording? An hour and 40. Whoa. This is a long video, boys. And if you're still here with me, if you could drop a like and a sub, I'd really fucking appreciate you. And if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. But let's get into Ursa. Level 15 talent. His status resist has increased by 20 to 25. Okay, so he's going to be a lot harder to control in his Enrage. Which he gets from his Q and his ult, and then his second charge of his Q. And then his ult again, then his Q, then his Q. Then his ult, then his Q, then his Q. His hero is so hard to kill. Vengeful Spirit. Base agility increased by 2, so she gets 2 more damage. Stun duration increased by 0.1111 across the board. Okay. Reduce their damage and armor isn't being increased, so some buffs. We got some buffs on Venge. Nice buffs. Plague Carrier has been reworked. Allows Plague Wards to deal septic shock damage based on their damage. When Venomous Gale impacts enemy heroes, 2 Plague Wards are created around them. Okay, so you can no longer place it on your ally heroes, and this is disincentivizing jungle Veno. Aghanim Scepter no longer gives Plague Wards the ability to do it. It's now in Plague Carrier. Aghanim Scepter base damage per debuff, so it still exists. Okay. Ward HP increased. Level 1, 2, and 3. Gold Bounty rescaled to be lower, so this is a buff. It's slightly higher, level 4. Talent Gale creates Plague Wards, replace with 50 base damage. Holy Jesus. Viper, poison attack. Mana cost decreased. Okay. Attack slow increased. Very annoying, especially in lane. Visage, Grave Cleaper's cloak armor increased to 15. It's a nothing up. It's a nothing buff. Okay, we got a nothing buff. Void Spirit, this hero needs some love. 2 more agi, meaning he gets 1 more damage in his range because he's universal. Intrinsic Edge, the tooltip now shows the current values of health regen, armor, mana regen, and magic resistance gained from the ability. Oh, okay, so you can hover it and it will show you. So he gains 25% more from strength, agi, and int. Nice. Damage increased. Nice. Aghanim Shard reworked. Creates an additional watcher path that rotates around the remnant, providing true sight. The remnants no longer trigger on creeps, instead dealing 50% of the damage every second, so he can farm with remnants now. So they've given him a farming ability, a UI update and some edgy damage increased, better level 4. Some talent reworks, damage replaced with pulse damage, mana regen nerfed, pulse damage replaced with remnant damage. They got swapped. Remnant provides true sight replaced with pulse barrier buff because it's just intrinsically on the shard. Astral strip charge restore time decreased. Nerf. Warlock no longer applies to enemies in fog or war. Nerf, especially in lane. Effect radius decreased. Nerf. Wind Ranger, not enough to kill the hero. Wind Ranger, bonus damage per hero increased. Buff. Damage buff duration decreased. So worse early, but the damage is better. Cast range increased. They're making... Damn. So it matches Marana Arrow. Okay. Damage reduction decreased. So you deal more damage. Cast range decreased. Okay. Radius decreased. Okay, nerf here, but buff here. Wind Ranger support's still going to be good, especially with the other facet, now that you've got 400 more range. Holy. Gonna get some snipes. I think we're almost at the end now, so we've got Winter Wyvern. Damage increased by 5, buff. Radius decreased, nerf. Blast stun duration decreased, nerf. Okay, small nerfs and a small buff. Now we have Malpractice. Headhunter's gone. When an enemy dies while under the effect of Maledict, 70% of what the next burst damage amount would be is dealt to all enemies in 800 units. This effect works even if the enemy dies to the last burst. Interesting. I can see that being very potent. No longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Base damage increased from 50. Now there's 20 more damage per bounce by default because they removed the Headhunter facet. Bounce is rescaled, so it starts free, 4, 5, 6. So you don't have 8 anymore, that kind of sucks. Base movement speed decreased by 5. Int decreased by 2. So you're more wanting Soul Ring now. Denies on non-skeleton units now count towards skeleton charges. Thank you. I believed this is how it should have worked in the first place, but it didn't. This is a buff though, however. Lifesteal decreased. Okay, no longer freezes reincarnation cooldown. That's a buff. Can no longer be triggered while under the effect of Vampire Spirit Wraith Delay. So you can't hold the skill point anymore? Okay. Makes sense. And last but not least, we got Zeus. His 10 talent, his mana regen has been replaced with 1 more jump. So you can jump twice. No, it's 1 more jump target, right? So he zaps 1 more. 15 talent, 1 more target replaced with Arc Lightning cooldown. Interesting. Level 25 talent, damage increased. Thoughts about this meta? I think Morphling got hit hard. He got fucking deserved. A got hit, deserved. LD, no buff. Sad. PL is going to be interesting. I'm excited for Shen. I'm gonna definitely play some Shen. And with that, thanks very much for joining me. I'm excited for this patch, 7.39. And I hope you guys win some MMR. I'll see you in one of my streams. I should be streaming shortly at some point. And if you do want to pop in, come say hi. I've been Vipo. You take it easy.